if you tell somebody and all of them are telling you not to tell somebody, that's a lot of people that are telling you not to tell somebody. That's the amount of people that are freaking touching on you and doing things they don't have any business doing at one time. There are statistic rates that speak on how the chances of a woman who has been sexually assaulted go up once she's been sexually assaulted, and it's like multiply times whatever. And I'm still reading. We haven't even gotten deep in this yet, because this is a reason why I'm talking about this stuff. I have no shame. I have no care in the world to not swallow my pride and say, yes, going through what I've been through and experiencing what I am, and there are certain things about me and my sexuality and my sex life that I do enjoy. However, I also know for a fact that the individuals who will ever try and come to me and make me seem like I'm just a woman who has no common sense, when in reality, like, I know me enough to know now. I know me now, and I know my inner child. I understand the conversations and the situations I had. And the one thing that I realized was a lot of people thought I was stupid when I really was just very, very kind and was just wanted love, because I wasn't getting it at home. I was getting beat on. I was being made the scapegoat, the black sheep. My sister graduated like number 7 in her class, got a bunch of things. She was great. I was the problem kid. But I also realized how many times I opened my mouth to say things, and how many people really, it's sexual abuse and sexual assault and all this other stuff is a really hard conversation for people. I don't know why. Because you can ask every single last individual who's ever violated me in any kind of way, they feel some kind of way about me right now, because I taught them that motherfucking lesson to understand the different forms of sexual abuse, sexual harassment. Why is it safe to like, unless there's some form of consent, then you get into the kinky stuff, okay, cool, because no judgment, but also understanding boundaries and what safe words, etc., etc. Or where you see how guys listen to you talk, because for me, I am someone who's very, like, I like to talk, mostly about human behavioral patterns, because it's crazy out here, but I like to talk. And I didn't realize, like, especially about what I've gone through, but not from a place of still going through it, but more so from a place of, like, I like observing those type of things, even interpersonal, like, interactions. The 85%, the 10%, the 5%, like, what they're all doing, and being able to, like, really look at it and see it in real time. So going through all of this stuff, and I'm still not done, going through all of this stuff was really like a like having to sit through and understand and realize, because like I said, I was a freak, yes. So I know where things were great and I enjoyed individual's experience. We just didn't work out, versus guys who coerced, peer pressured, attempted to assault, did assault, drug, abuse, whatever the case it was. When you go through therapy and you start healing, you go through the actual experience. You see everything. It's not something you're making up in your head. You can actually visually go through the memories and remember what someone said and what someone did. Because what was happening to me was my brain had got so sick and tired of being violated for so long, it would, like, I would flip a switch in my brain so I can handle it, so I could tell myself, no, you're not being violated again. And even in that, because, you know, it's like, well, how do you keep ending up around these type of people? If my mother was doing what she was doing, and we're not even gonna get into my father, he was absent, we just gonna say absent for now, because that's a story for a different time. But if my mother, that's the type of people that she's dating, you're telling people, everyone's telling you to be quiet, everyone's just making it okay. And the more that you try and say something, the more you suffer, you're going through things. And everyone's calling you a liar, and everyone's calling you a problem child, and you're listening to coaches talk about how your mama was talking about you with them. She don't even protect you. Like those things, knowing how bad I was being violated, I had to sit down and process that. Because I was like, well, this type of pattern it's a common pattern for women who've experienced it, but to get to a point where you understand it enough to figure out what you need to rewire and what you need to do so that you can properly receive real love, it's insane. Because you're not looking through it and going through it from a place of wanting to blame others, because you did that your whole life. It's when you're going through it and looking at and reflecting on yourself and the decisions that you were making or the love you didn't have for yourself that got you there in the first place. So you can make sure you tighten up on loving yourself in that area. At least that's what I do when I'm working on myself. So even in going through that, I was able to really just realize how many individuals thought I was dumb when I was just really kind. I'd say I was kind of green, but it was because I had never really had like genuine relationship with anyone ever in my life. I didn't really get along with my mom. I didn't get along with my siblings. I didn't really get along with people at school. When I was in a good mood, I was in a good mood. Great, wonderful. But she's not someone you hang out with, kick it with. She has problems, this and this and this and that. I'm waking up every day and dealing with a woman who literally cannot stand me. But I'm going to continue on with this list because I'm going somewhere with this. And y'all see I'm going somewhere with this. But let me pull this list back up. In college, I woke up with my face in a pillow after drinking too much. He told me it seemed like I like it. He said it seemed like I was enjoying it. I was passed out cold. Again, by my ex-boyfriend in college because he refused to see me walk away from him unscathed by his abuse. He violated me during the relationship. It took me some years to accept that part, that he was violating me. This was later on when I did the deep therapy, exploiting me the entire time. Met a woman when I was 21, put something in the weed bowl while everyone was in the room, and they all act like they took a hit, and I actually did. And from there, I started struggling with mental health really, really bad. And I would always cry to her and go to her and tell her about how, like, I felt like I was going crazy. Things just weren't right. But because you got to remember, I only smoked weed, and I barely did that. This is when I was, like, actively in school years ago. Because, like I said, the long road, but I'm getting that MD. Because this stuff needs to be discussed and talked about, and how it really plays a role, like, from the inside and how people view you from the outside. And how a lot of people get stuck in the web that a lot of people want of judgment from people. So then you end up here. You end up torn down, you end up an addict, you end up broken, you end up a lot of things. Sorry, y'all, that was my man. You end up everywhere but where you're actually supposed to be. So for me, I understand, like, because when, oh, wait, let me finish because it gets even better. I watched her, like, she picked me up, asked me if we wanted to hang out one day, and she literally handed her $3K when I got in the car. Didn't even know what was going on this time. That's how green I was. And she did this multiple times. And she kept me drunk, and she kept me high. And anytime I would, like, things would be going well, things would get abusive, whatever the case may be. There were times where I was like, I need to get away. I would get away. Somebody else would pull me back out into it. It'd be one person that I think I can trust. Oh, they don't know about, they're not into that type of stuff. Everybody was doing it. Let me keep going because this is where it gets interesting. She couldn't control me psychologically and abused me from afar and convinced everyone that I was crazy and not to believe a word I said, because she could never really get me to a point where I just was like, yeah, I'm finna sell. No, I'm a lover girl. I'm a lover girl. Like, I would have to date my client to actually have conversation with them, figure out if I don't want to sell it for real. I want to be loved on consistently. I'm good on the money. And even though I used to talk like that back then, nah. I love him. I love him. I love him. But enough from a place of never receiving love. But my bad, y'all. I'm going to stay focused. So I'm going to keep going. New Year's 2018, I was drugged and gang raped at a New Year's party, and it was filmed. I didn't remember mentally at the time, but my body, like, kept a score. So when I mean my body kept a score, I was very angry. I was becoming very angry. Because for the most part, I'm a very calm woman. I'm very focused. And a lot of things don't faze me. I laugh at people when they cuss me out, you know. When people threaten to kill me, I be like, ooh, exciting. I have adrenaline rush for a while when I actually believe them. So, I didn't find out till later on. And And hold on, let me catch up back to where I was. I was becoming more angry, started partying more, was trying to numb and forget, because when it first happened, I was like, no, I'm fine, it's okay, yeah, it's fine. Man, that high right after it happens is so real. If you know, you know. So then I drink and party so hard, because I was like, the minute I sit down and actually start processing, it's over. Because I didn't really know, there were just certain pieces that was like, I remember bits and pieces, something I'm like, when did that happen? What was that? Or people showing me videos of myself. And I'd be like, oh, I played it smooth, but I'm like, when did I do this? What's going on? This isn't like me. I don't black out drink like this and not remember. When I drink, unless it's like really bad, I remember for the most part. I can play the whole thing back. I actually am probably, listen, me and my therapist talk about this, so don't judge me, try to make it seem like I'm a narcissist or manipulative, whatever the case may be. We know all of that. But we're also talking about the fact that I use my powers for good. Because I am intentional about making sure I don't manipulate. I am intentional about how I set boundaries with people. I'm intentional about all of those things. So, yeah. But let's just try to get through this. But, because I forgot where I was going with that. But, yeah. 1 second. Oh, hanging out with a male friend of mine, I woke up under the bed without remembering how I got there, passed out. And I passed back out, and when I woke up again, the guy had my limp body hanging over the edge of the bed. He was getting ready to smash my cheeks while I was unconscious, guys. I woke up and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he looked at his friend. I said, oh, the audacity. Put something in the drink. So then I was like, that would explain why me, completely out of my mind, blacked out from whatever they put in the drink. That would explain why I woke up under the bed. Because even in survival mode, I was still like, I ain't giving up this cookie. And that's another thing. That's the reason why I'm explaining all of this, because we're going to get to the whole, how everyone kind of just like gave me the label of a whore. Mostly everyone who knows me thinks I'm a whore, but it's like, if you had taken as many times to have, like, it's the best to just mind your business. I don't know a better way to say it. I'm not one of those people. I make very morbid jokes about what I have learned to actually get through and look at from a perspective that